The significance and conservancy of Indonesia's Saung Angklung Ujo. Music is considered as an intangible cultural heritage. As part of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations Preservation and Awareness Program, the organization showcases different forms of music through music festivals that will provide a new perspective, appreciation, and understanding of the modern people today. Moreover, the organization would help on strengthening ties between its member countries and establish platforms for regional music awareness that will highlight the traditional music around the world. In this video, we will feature one of the most popular music in Indonesia, the Saung Angklung Ujo. Indonesia is a home of different tourist attractions that is most visited by people around the world. The beauty of its beaches, exotic foods, and natural resources proves the richness of the region. However, Indonesia offers more than this. The strong cultural and traditional values is well visible to the region. Music developed in this country reflects the characteristics of Indonesia, both in terms of language and melodic style. Indonesia is home to hundreds of forms of music and plays an important role in Indonesia's art and culture. One of the popular music in Indonesia was the angklung or the Sundanese bamboo orchestras, which was originated from the West Java. The angklung is closely related to traditional customs, arts, and cultural identity in Indonesia, played during ceremonies such as rice planting, harvest, and circumcision. Angklung education is transmitted orally from generation to generation and increasingly in educational institutions. Because of the collaborative nature of angklung music, playing promotes cooperation and mutual respect among the players, along with discipline, responsibility, concentration, development of imagination and memory, as well as artistic and musical feelings within Indonesia community and also in the world. History of Saung Angklung Ujo. Saung Angklung Ujo was built in 1966 by Ujo Ngalagena, or also known as Mang Ujo, together with his wife, Sumiati. The establishment of Saung Angklung Ujo aims to preserve Sundanese traditional art and culture. Ujo Ngalagena is an angklung artist who hails from West Java. Born on March 5, 1929, Ujo Ngalagena is familiar with angklung art since the age of 4. Way back in the early 30s, Ujo Ngalagena became overwhelmed by the sound of angklung, a Sundanese traditional music instrument made of bamboo. As a child, angklung became his good friend, not only for him but also for the rest of the villagers that he lived with. The harmony and uniqueness of various melodic sounds and the joy it created had escorted every child to his circumcision, adults to their marriages, and even celebrations at harvest time. Ujo Ngalagena began his learning of angklung directly from the master himself, the late Dayang Sotigna, the founder of angklung music in 1938. He was one of the 6 of Dayang's students, and subsequently gained the nickname the Crocodile of Angklung because of his passionate obsession for this cultural heritage. The 73-year-old Mang Ujo has traveled to many countries performing his passion and has been given many awards both nationally and internationally. Saung Angklung Ujo is now a famous center of Sundanese traditional culture in addition to also being the chief of Angklung School in West Java. Saung Angklung Ujo serves as a cultural heritage to the Indonesian people and also influences children, as its goal is not only to be a traditional instrument, but to maintain the happiness of children around the world. What is angklung and how to use it? The angklung is a bamboo idiophone that is constructed by mounting 2 to 4 graduated bamboo tubes on a frame. When shaken, the angklung can produce 2 to 4 pitches that sound at the octave that sound in harmony. Angklung instruments can be hung and organized into rows and played solo, or individual angklung can be distributed among a group and played in hoppet-like fashion, in which each player is responsible for sounding a single tone within a desired pattern or a melody that is similar to handbells. Saung Angklung Ujo's daily shows occur in a covered amphitheater with a varied cast of almost 100. Children, teens, and adults in traditional Indonesian costume, each with an angklung instrument in hand. The show goes beyond Sundanese culture to cover almost all Indonesian cultural traditions, from Javanese to Balinese, with wayang golek shows and kids' games accompanying party angklung music. A small group of children carry out their dynamic performances with natural expressions of innocence. In addition to teaching music and dance to its students, the center puts on a daily bamboo afternoon tourist performance and is home to a bamboo handicrafts factory that specializes in bamboo souvenirs and high-quality angklung instruments. Several performances were also held in Saung Angklung Ujo. Some of the performances are Angklung Orchestra. Angklung is not only used to accompany the Sundanese songs. In this angklung orchestra, various types of songs are played ranging from balloons, nursery rhymes, up to dangdut songs and Indonesian regional songs. Play Angklung Together gave its audience the opportunity to play angklung. The children of Saung Angklung Ujo will lend angklung with various numbers. With guidance and instruction from Saung Angklung Ujo, the audience can play some songs with the angklung. Playing angklung is also guided by several hand gestures guides. The video shows a demonstration of the hand gestures to the learners and tourists. Demonstration of puppet show. Staging a typical Sundanese wooden puppet-like puppet complete with costume. Every staging puppet show always has a moral message to its audience. Helaran. Helaran is usually played for traditional ceremonies of Kitanan and rice harvest. Because it aims to entertain and give thanks to God, the music is passionate and carefree. Angklung used for Helaran is a pentatonic angklung. Topeng, mask dance. Turban dance performed by women. First, they will dance without using a mask. The story of the newscaster from Majapahit is investigating the state of Bambangan Kingdom. Then they began to dance in masks with the story of the messenger disguised as a man of gallantry against King Menakjinga. The red mask symbolizes the temperamental character. Influences and significance of Saung Angklung. There are various forms of formalization and ritualization conducted in the establishment of Saung Angklung Ujo. Referring to the concept of tradition, it is seen that Ujo is able to create new traditions and share his knowledge to the community so it can be practiced together, like developing habits, playing and producing the angklung that resulted to a routine and formal activity in their community. The main target of this cultural tradition are the children, so they could further foster their skills and talents in playing bamboo instruments. It also helps on preserving the values of arts and music in the region. Saung Angklung Ujo became a gathering place for the community, where children have been active since decades ago. The local people's lives were impacted by the existence of the traditional music, both in the form of social-cultural values, shaping the daily habits of the children, and providing economic impacts in the society. The existence of Saung Angklung Ujo has been stronger since the growth of production of angklung. In the 1970s, Saung Angklung Ujo became a tourist attraction by displaying a variety of traditional art that is dominated by bamboo. Since then, Ujo Ngalagena created various tourist attractions that aim to become a Sundanese cultural storefront with various activities of the Sundanese tradition. Moreover, establishment of the Saung Angklung Ujo was able to move the economic sector through traditional art. Saung Angklung Ujo contributed greatly in delivering angklung into a non-objects World Heritage in 2010 endorsed by UNESCO. Ujo, as the main power of Saung Angklung Ujo, succeeded in creating productive output in the form of training, education, performances, production of angklung musical instruments, and various other forms based on the roots of his culture and tradition. Ujo was able to form a social structure and develop creative products in the form of production, performances, and other art activities of angklung traditions. More than just a musical instrument, the angklung signifies togetherness, unity, and harmony. To produce a beautiful music, the instrument must be played together in harmony. Saung Angklung Ujo today and its preservation. Cultural heritage can be managed and preserved through several ways. One common way is to preserve cultural heritage through creative industry. Today, Ujo's family carries on his legacy of angklung by bringing angklung to large numbers of foreigners in a recognized method of soft power cultural diplomacy. Working with the Indonesian government and global embassies, Saung Angklung Ujo has continued to coordinate spectacular colossal angklung events designed to reach the largest numbers of people possible. In the year 2015, the Indonesian angklung musical instrument gained more of its popularity when 20,000 people joined to set a new world record. The World Record Museum in Indonesia officially declared that angklung harmony for the world performance has made a national record. The team from Guinness World Record also came down to monitor and calculate the number of people participated in the performance. The 20,000 angklung instruments used in the performance were produced by Mang Ujo with sponsorships from third parties. This tradition of holding colossal angklung events has led Saung Angklung Ujo to attempt to break 2 world records for the most number of people playing angklung at one time. Saung Angklung Ujo is an example of a successful institution in cultural heritage preservation. It is growing astoundingly to be the leading name for cultural tourism destination in Indonesia, which demonstrates how a surviving cultural value can provide benefits and give a colorful life to its society. Training and education of art to the children foster a sense of belonging and love for their own culture. Furthermore, Fostering the next generation who are knowledgeable about local culture is very helpful in cultural presentation. Sao Angklong Ujo made good cooperation with local government in legal aspect. It cooperates with Indonesia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs to distribute their product and introduce Sundanese culture around the world. This partnership is very valuable to carry up the name of Saong Angklong Ujo into international tourism. It can go global in performing their cultural art and products.